Welcome to section 7 of the course, where we're going to finalize the app and upload the app to the App Store. In this section, we're going to look at how to customize our app launch screen. We're going to learn how to create and add app icons. We're going to learn how to create a new app on iTunes Connect. And finally, we're going to learn how to upload the app to iTunes Connect from Xcode. App launch screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to customize our app launch screen using the launch screen storyboard. This is where we stopped in the last section. If you look inside the project navigator here, you can see a file called the launch screen.storyboard. This file is responsible for displaying the app's launch screen, and this is the file that we're going to be customizing. Before we can do anything, we need to download an icon that we're going to display on the launch screen when the app launches. Launch screen is the first screen that your user will see when they launch your app. It would display for a few seconds. It is always good to customize this screen to make it look good so that the user can have a good impression of your app the first time they launch it. Let's go on the internet to find an icon that we can use on the launch screen. Navigate to flaticon.com. This is where I always go to find free icons that you can use. So I'm just simply going to type task, and it brings up this list. Without wasting any time, I'm going to pick this one, and I'm going to download the one that says 512 by 512. But this icon has been created by Smash Icons, and I always give credit to people that create these icons. So click on free download to download it, and the icon has been downloaded to my download folder, so I can exit by closing this screen. The next thing is to add this image to our assets folder. So click on the assets.xc assets folder, the blue one here, and then we want to drag the image that we just downloaded. I want to drag it here, so I'm going to drag it, place it here. So the next thing we need to do now is to go to the launch screen storyboard and then add this image to the center of the screen. So let me go to the storyboard. Let me bring up my objects library, and then we want to add an image to the center of the screen. So we need an image placeholder. So let me search for image, and we have the image view. So I will drag one to the center of the screen. You can see that it's on the horizontal and vertical center, so I will drop it. Right now, the size is not what I want. I want it to be a square. So I'm going to make it 200 by 200 by using the size inspector. Let me rearrange it again to put in vertical and horizontal center. So let me add constraint. I want to preserve the width and the height, so I'll add 2 constraints. And then I want to place it on the horizontal and vertical center of the view. So we've added all the constraints that we need. Okay, and then we've added the image to our assets folder. So what we need to do now is select the image and then go to the attribute inspector. And where it says the image, you want to select the list icon that we just downloaded. Now that we have customized the launch screen, let's see what it looks like. I'm going to choose iPhone 8 Plus and then run the app. Keep in mind that the launch screen always come up very quickly, sometimes less than a second. So you have to make sure that you can see that we didn't get a chance to see it. Let's try again. You have to make sure that we can see it briefly there. Let me give you a trick that you can use to see your launch screen for a longer time. But this trick should only be used for this occasion. So if you go to the app delegate.swift, the function here, the one that says did finish launching with options, it is the first thing that your app calls before it goes to your view controller. Okay, so inside this function, I want you to type sleep and then select the first option and then pass a value that I'm going to put 5. This means I want my app to sleep for 5 seconds. But remember, I just want you to use this function so that you can see your launch screen for longer. You have to delete this once you finish using it, because your app may be rejected if Apple notices that you've used this function inside your app. Okay, so let's do that. What it does, it will pause your app for that 5 seconds because you're making the app sleep. So now we can see this launch screen for 5 seconds. Okay, so what we need to do now, let me go back to the launch screen of storyboard. You can customize this as much as you want. For example, you can add a label. Let's add a label at the bottom. So I'm going to add a label at the bottom. I'm going to say my task app and the label, and then I'm going to choose the green color style, heavy, and then I'm going to increase the font. Okay, just to make our launch screen looks good, let's add some. Okay, let's launch it again to see what it looks like now. This one is not centered. Let's try again. Centered it. Run. Sometimes your launch screen doesn't come to the front, so you have to click on it to bring it to the front. And you can see that we have a very nice looking launch screen. You can customize yours as much as you like. You can use any image that you want. This is the basics of customizing your app launch screen before uploading it to the App Store. In this video, we've learned how to customize our app launch screen using the launch screen.storyboard.